today, kind of getting towards the end of June, 3rd, 4th week of June 2013. We're at the point where made some changes in the way that we're approaching the project, particularly the set screws on the large sprockets, the aluminum sprockets. For this project, and those of you who are following it, I made a change. I don't drill and tap for every sprocket now. The only time you're going to have to drill and tap for sprockets is the little ones. Okay, and those happen on a 3/4 inch jack shaft. So that little one right there on the second shaft, 1, 2, just that little one there, and the little one in the back. So you only have to drill and tap for that when you're dealing with sprockets. The rest of the sprockets, I switched over to these split collars. Okay, these things are great. There's a little split right here down the middle. Okay, which is great because you can undo the two bolts and just lift it off of there and put the two halves together. You know, and that takes care of once you drill and tap your set screw for the little sprockets and get them set on your jack shaft, your axle. It makes it real easy lining up now because I don't have to worry about trying to find the perfect position on the jack shaft for the other sprockets. I just put them on there, slide them around back and forth until they're perfectly lined up. I even throw some chain on here to line them up really good, and then I know exactly where it's supposed to be. Then you can just put your split collars on both sides, and you're set to go. The one other thing you're going to have to do is the keyway. You got to put there's a keyway inside the sprocket holder. This bad boy right here. But inside there, inside here is a keyway. Okay. So you just drop in a key, slide it in there. That's before the split collars are on. You just tap it into the keyway into the sprocket holder. Okay. And then once you put the split collars on there, that keeps the key from coming out of the sprocket holder because it bumps up against the collar. So it's great. The split collars keep the sprocket aligned and keep the key from coming out of the keyway. Okay, so the split collars are really nice. So there's 2, 4, 6 split collars on the project. 4 of them have a 1-inch bore. The diameter of the bore is 1 inch on the big split collars, and then 2 of them are 3/4 inch bores, center holes. Because remember, the first axle here is at 1 inch, and the other 2 are 3/4 inch. Okay, so the split collars, great addition to the project. Less drilling and tapping. They help align up the sprocket with the little sprockets, and they keep the key in the keyway. So it does a double duty, really good. And those babies are running nice and true. And then of course you still got to drill and tap your set screws for the bearings. Okay, so I just did one over here, and then on this side I didn't drill and tap this side. All I did is just put the set screw right inside the keyway, because it'd be almost impossible to drill and tap the set screw here and then have the perfect distance to drill and tap the second one. Trust me, probably isn't going to happen. Okay. The other thing I haven't mentioned on this project is the size of the plates are, for those that want to know, 12 inches high, 30 inches long. Okay, 2 of them. I'll probably go to aluminum in the future, but for now that's what I got here. And let's see, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the distance between the plates is 11 inches. I have them set at 11 inches. Okay, from the very center of the plate to the center of the next plate is 11 inches. Okay, so I'm just taking one of those bad boys there and measuring it out, right? And the reason I did that is so that I could have the gearbox squared up. Plus 11 inches is good because the jack shaft on the front is only a foot long, 12 inches, so it gives me a little room on each side for the jack shaft to fit without running out of space, right? And it seems like a pretty good distance between the two plates because I can pull the other jack shafts out when I'm disassembling and just have enough room to work around and do stuff. Okay? So this is looking really good. I already put the chains on there earlier and lined them up. So the next thing I got to do is I'm looking for these turnbuckles. Really didn't they worked out okay for tightening up the as this is pivoting on that bottom threaded rod down there, so that'll help pick up the slack. That's going to be really good. And the turnbuckles, we're going to pull that up and tighten up the chain, because I'm going to put a sprocket on here, and then I'm going to replace this pulley with a sprocket on the third axle here. That's going to go out of there. We're going to put a sprocket on there. But the turnbuckles really didn't work out as well as I'd liked. So I'm still going to use a one-sided turnbuckle, but on the other side I'm going to need something called a super swivel. So for those of you who are, and that may change, but as of today, super swivel is going to go on one side down here on this side, and also right here is, even though the screw's not there, super swivel is going to go here, super swivel is going to go there, and then this side up here I'll keep the turnbuckle. The reason I want to do that is when I turn the turnbuckle, I only want to pick up the slack or extend the slack on one side. The other side I just want to swivel. I don't want the other side of the turnbuckle threading. So this side won't have a thread, it'll just be a swivel sitting on there. They're called super swivels, and when you get into boating and tackle and stuff like that, rigging. Yeah, I meant boating and rigging, not tackle, sorry. Boating and rigging, they're called super swivels. So I'm going to try to find a miniature version of a super swivel, or just go with a basic swivel, but that should solve that problem for picking up the slack. And then I still got to incorporate the escapement mechanism on the bottom here. So that's a little bit of work left to do there. And this wheel here is going to be replaced by a 4-foot wheel that I still got to get cut out and kind of design on that, so I'll figure that out still. But we're coming along really good here. Alright, that's it. Later.